What's going on, family? What is going on? It is that time. Welcome to tonight's Lion's Den. I will not be before you long. I know I say that all the time, but I want to make sure that we have this time this afternoon. So, again, welcome to the Lion's Den. As you are tuning in, let me know in the comments below, wherever you're watching this, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you are. Make sure you let me know where you're tuning in from so I can definitely give you a shout out. And by all means, share this podcast, share this broadcast today, because I think this is something that is going to resonate with a lot of people. And but let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. What I really want to talk to you about today is the process of sustained success. Okay, the process of sustained success. And a lot of times we throw that word around success and we immediately associate that with money. And it's more than just money. Okay, it's more than just money when we're talking about success. Yes, success or money is a part of success, but it's not the entire equation of what being successful means. And so I want to kind of, for the lack of better words, hit you right between the eyes with this principle of maintaining success, right? The principles behind sustained success, okay? And it's not always easy. Obviously, we're talking about the Lion's Den. We said this from day one. Going through the Lion's Den is not always easy, but what we go through is necessary for character development. And so I want to talk to you today about some principles that I've applied in my own life that has initiated what I'm calling sustained success. Okay. Sustained success as a husband, sustained success as a man, sustained success as a father, sustained success as a business owner. Like, there's sustained success in just about every area of your life. And so I want to talk about those principles. But again, tune in, or wherever you're tuning in from, let me know, and go ahead and comment below. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about success. Like many of you that's probably watching this right now, you were under this assumption that success is only about money. It's only about finances, okay? Now, here's the catch to success. If you look at it this way, this is what I began to understand. I'm gonna relax a little bit. The principle of sustained success requires a different mentality from the current you. Oh boy, we getting started early. The principle of sustained success requires a different mentality from the current you. Okay. Now, what do I mean by a different mentality from the current you? What got you where you are is not going to take you to where you say you desire to be. So from the position that you're in right now is going to require a different mentality. It's going to require a different mindset in order for you to go from where you are to where you desire to be. Because, and I'm looking down to make sure I don't see anything tripping on me here. But the requirement for the new you requires a different mentality, but that's a consistent routine of doing the things that's required in order to see something different. So let me give you the first nugget real quick. First and foremost, you have to make up in your mind that you are not going back. You may say, Mike, that sounds real easy or cliche. Yeah, but most people don't do it. Most people will claim that they're not going back. But the minute something happens, those same people turn around and they cry wolf because they think that the only way that they're going to make it through is to become stagnant and go back to what they're used to. Sometimes the success, many times, if not all the time, the success that you're begging and pleading and praying for is on the other side of that thing that you're trying to resist, not from a negative standpoint. Y'all, I need y'all to hear me, okay? There's some things that you do need to resist, right? There's some people that you do need to resist. We talked about that, but there's some things that you need to run straight to. Remember this, right? In the Bible, David did not run from Goliath. He actually ran towards him with, watch, with the expectation that he was going to take him out. David knew that when he ran towards Goliath, it was a wrap. He was looking at him like, yo, I don't care who this dude is, but he will not come against me and our people, and let alone come against the all-knowing, all-powerful God. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that think he's going to come in and wreck shot in our place? You got to think the same way. When the lion is coming after you, you at this point, you should be looking the lion dead smack in the eyes and say, it's me or you. And I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be you. So you have to make that decision that you're not going back. You've been going through this lion's den for a long time now. You too deep into the den in order for you to turn back and go the other way. There's a whole bunch more lions back there that's as hungry as the ones that's chasing you. But at this point, there's no turning back. You got to keep going forward. The second thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to be intentional about your personal growth and development. Now, a lot of people say, well, yeah, I am, intentional about my personal growth and development. Let me give you a personal history of me, right? I wasn't always, now, let me say this before I go here. I'm not perfect. No man is, but I am not or have not always been the person that you see in front of this camera these days. I promise you, when you meet me in public and people that have been knowing me for years, they know that Mike has changed. Okay. I'm not saying that I was out here acting a complete fool and done lost my mind. Maybe when I was like, super young, but I don't necessarily qualify for that person anymore, right? But here's the thing. I remember there was a time when I would sleep with the radio, not trash, but I would sleep with the word of God playing next to me on my boombox radio every single night. It was one of those seasons where I was going through some of the most extreme depression that I've ever faced in my life at that time. And I had to get that junk up out of the way I was thinking, out of my mind. So I had to replace it with new information. And so I went on a relentless journey to better myself. I went on a relentless journey to never go back to becoming the person that I was, but I had to change what I was feeding my mind. And so I went from reading, because first of all, I couldn't stand reading. I'm just being honest with you. I couldn't stand it. Today, I have several books, right? But I've written several books, but at one point I couldn't stand reading. I would only crack open a book because I had to do it for class, or when I was in high school or college, I had to read a book. Listen, I was not that guy that would just pick up a book just to pick up a book. Today, I read on average about 4 or 5 books a month. You may say, man, that's too much. It may be too much for you, but where I'm going, I need to continue to develop me. And so you have to be relentless about your personal growth and development. All right. That's point number two. Number three is we talk about it all the time. When you start to get on this path of seeking maintain success, you have got to cut what I call the umbilical cord of toxic relationships in your life. And you may say, what in the world are you talking about? Cutting the umbilical cord. Well, at birth, when you're in your mother's womb, you are basically attached to her in her womb with that umbilical cord, and everything that mama eats, it goes into you as the baby. Now, so if mama drinks poison, you get poison. If mama is filling her belly up with nutrients and protein and all and the things that will make you a healthy baby, then you will receive those things. It's the same exact principle, same exact process. When you are attaching yourself to the umbilical cord of toxic relationships, you are receiving the negative nutrients or the negative toxic things that that person is injecting into you. Whatever they feed themselves and they impart that into you, you, my friend, are consuming that very thing. So you have got to become intentional about cutting the umbilical cord to toxic relationships. This was honestly one of the hardest things that I had to do. Today, it's easier said than done, or it's easier for me to do it than it was back then, right? But now it's very easy. My wife and I will tell you, or my wife will tell you, I will cut somebody off real quick if I realize that they're not on the same path as me. Man, I hope y'all hearing me. This is not an egotistical thing. This is for you to understand that you have to get to a point where some people are not meant to go with you to the next journey. Some people are going to be the ones that you leave behind in this lion's den. Oh man, some people that you're with right now, you're going to have to leave them behind in the lion's den and allow them to find their own way out. It doesn't mean that you're better than anybody else. It doesn't mean that they are not worth it. They are just not going on the same path as you, right? So make the decision that you're not going back. Become ridiculously intentional about your personal growth and development, whatever that is. We even have a coaching program where we help people through it as well, right? So I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. And then number three, you have to cut the umbilical cord to toxic relationships in your life, right? Okay. So with that being said, so the maintain success. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. And this one is not, I don't want to say the most powerful one, but it is extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. You have to have accountability in your life. Whether it's through a mentor, whether it's through peers, whether it's through people that are willing to hold you accountable, you have to have accountability in your life, self accountability and external accountability. I have several people in my life that can hold me accountable. My wife is one of them, without a doubt, right? My pastor is another. My father, and I have people that will hold me accountable. My brothers, they will hold me accountable. And anytime I get off track, those people can whip me right back in shape and say, Mike, you tripping, right? And I'm willing, able, and humble enough to receive most times what they're telling me. I was having a conversation with a mentor of mine yesterday, sharing some insight with me, and I received everything he said. It wasn't bad, but thank God that I have people in my life that I can have hold me accountable to make sure that I never go back, that I stay on this path of continued personal growth and development, that I remove toxic relationships out of my life. And that person, whoever that person of accountability is, that mentor, friend, whatever it is, then they will set me intentionally, they will begin to set me on a path of seeing maintain success. All right, so now, and here's the other thing, and I'm just about done. 15 minutes, real quick. Here's the last thing is you have to be intentional about working on the areas where you need improvement. Every area may not need improvement, right? But for example, when I'm going through books or when I'm listening to programs or when I'm talking to my mentor, I'm always seeking information in the area of the things that's important to me, whether it's my finances. I'm always listening to something on marriage. Obviously, my spiritual growth is foundation. I'm seeking to be a better entrepreneur. I'm seeking to be a better father. I'm seeking to be a better man. Are y'all hearing me? And so I'm intentional about where I'm going. And I promise you, it's not one of those things that just happens overnight, but it's something that can happen on a consistent basis. We call this maintain success. Now, I'll say this and then I'll leave it here. Okay. You hear me say all the time that when you're living in your purpose, there's no such thing as competition. When you are living in your purpose, there's no such thing as competition. Now, I want to make sure that I break this down for you, okay? Because maintaining sustain or having sustained success means that you are not in competition with everybody. I'm not here to prove myself to anybody. I'm here to do the work that my father have sent me to do. It takes a different mentality. I'm here to do the things that God has sent me here to do. I'm 100% sold and convinced and convicted of what it is that I'm here to do. I'm not competing with anybody. My heart goes out to anybody that feels that there is it's necessary to compete with me, because I'm not competing with you. I'm walking my path. I'm living my life. I'm following the path that God has for me. This is where that comes from when I say that. When you're living in your purpose, there's no such thing as competition. The only way that you are going to have sustained success is that you have got to get it out of your head that you're competing for a spot, that you're competing for a position, that you are sitting here in competition with people that is, now I'm going to say this, you're sitting and you're having this internal conflict and competition with people that's not even competing with you. You're wasting your energy, you're wasting your focus, and you're wasting your time. This is the only way that you are going to have sustained success. Listen, it is so possible if you're intentional about it. Getting out of this lion's den is more, it's closer than you think. It's closer than you think. A lot of people are struggling right now, mentally, spiritually, relationship wise. I thank God for my life. I really do. One thing that you will, by the grace of God, never hear me do, I'll never jump on here and talk about how much money I have or don't have or this and that. I don't, listen, that's not what this is about. My success comes from one, my relationship with God, two, my relationship with my wife, three, my family. And obviously, purpose is there. Man, I hope y'all hearing me. My relationship with God, my relationship with my wife, my family, and purpose. That is the foundation of the success that you may see in my life. And it can be the same for you. All right. So, hopefully, you got something out of that tonight. I wanted to jump on here tonight and really just give you something that I feel very, very deep within myself that so many people need this. Sustained success is more than just money. Even just because you don't or you may not have a lot of money does not mean that you're not successful. Okay. Just because you don't have or what you don't think is a lot of money does not mean that you don't have success. I'm a very successful man. I'm a very successful man. I'm a very humble man as much as I know how to be. I try to remain humble every single day. Please don't take anything that I'm sharing with you now as an egotistical statement. I am who I am by the grace of God, nothing more and nothing less. I will never lose sight of that. But I want you to understand that it is your place to be successful. It is your right to be successful. And I want to help you get there as well. As I close, I'll repeat this statement to you because it is so relevant. And that is no matter what it looks like, no matter what it appears to be in your life, I want you to know, I'm looking down. Okay, I'm still here. I want you to know that when you are living in your purpose, family, there's no such thing as competition. Okay, so until next time, I love you, I appreciate you, and until next time, I see you again at the Lion's Den.